Hello all of you little demons, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, and I've got something special for you today, because you might have noticed on the channel that I've been doing a series of what X thinks of Y, and I've already done Xbox fans and PS4 loyalists, and now I thought that I'd get a little franchise specific. And what better franchise to start with than with Dark Souls? For you see, they have a very, let's just call it, passionate fan base, and will more often than not tear each other apart as much as they will lift each other up. They'll be telling each other that this is the right character to follow, this is the right covenant to join, this is how you get good. But you know what unifies everyone under the banner of Dark Souls? It's the bosses, because whether you love them or hate them, they are one of the defining moments of this franchise. So I thought to myself, well, what does everyone think about them? Well, that's why I'm here, because I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and this is what every Dark Souls player thinks about every Dark Souls 1 boss. And yes, before you ask, I will be including the DLC, because Daddy loves you, and he's picking up the check. Now let's crack on. Asylum Demon. Damn boy, he's thick. Now this guy is a huge obstacle for new players who will push people to their limits, right up until you realise that you can just go and hang around near its puckered anus and shove your sword betwixt thy cheeks and he'll go down pretty easily. But not that you'd want to do that, because it probably smells worse than Blighttown back there. Bell Gargoyles. More like set of bellends that are just a cheap rip-off of the man-eaters from Demon's Souls. To be honest, I'm not even entirely sure what the game plan is here for these guys. I mean, it's just like, right, he's just coming through the fog gate now. Okay, you go and attack him, and I'll wait here until you get to half health, and then I'll come and help you. No, we could ask Terry to help us, but he's pretending to be asleep. What's that, mate? Oh, you're waiting for Dark Souls 2, are you? Why don't we all just mob up and attack him now? Oh, he's killed us. Brilliant, thanks. Capra Demon. This guy. So here's what I imagine was going on when FromSoft were developing the Capra Demon. They probably just are like, right, okay, we've got a boss left. Have we got anywhere to put him? Well, we've just got some leftover assets here, but definitely the arena is way too small. Now, just chuck him in. Just chuck him in there. Are you sure it doesn't fit with the tone or lore or anything like that? Now, chuck him in there and put 2 dogs in as well. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, just pop some dogs in there, because people love a challenge, mate. They love a challenge. Just put it in there. Plus, I've programmed too many of them. Just pop them in there. That's not how programming works. Shut up and install the fog gate. End scene and the crowd boos. Ceaseless Discharge. I mean, come on. They never gave this boss a chance, did they? I mean, he looks like a boiled crab with psoriasis. He moves slower than erosion, and while he does have incredible lore, and it's very impressive, no one's going to want to Google the words Ceaseless and Discharge on their computers. And you can make him walk off the map and kill him without hitting him once. Top tier boss right here. Centipede Demon. When the lava in the stage you're fighting in is more memorable than the boss itself, you've got a problem here. And to be honest, the only reason that it's so memorable is because if you're playing this on the original, the bloom lighting alone will blind you. Get in the bin. Chaos Witch Quelaag. Brilliant lore? Check. Outstanding music? Check. Hideously sexy / disgusting design? Double check. All joking aside though, she is literally the same enemy design as Queen Slug for a Butt from Earthworm Jim. However, she does rise like a rose out of the absolute quagmire that is Blighttown. Although it does mean that when you face her, you definitely want to kill her first time, because nobody wants to go through that area again. Nope. Crossbreed Priscilla.
Waifu number 1, am I right, my fellow weebs?
Seriously, then why would you want to fight her? She doesn't want you to do anything. She just says, kindly, will you go? The only problem is, though, is that she's got a tail, and we as Dark Souls players have been conditioned to see a tail and think that that is an item that I need, so I'm going to have to kill you now. It makes you feel like a monster as well when she goes invisible and you have to follow her tiny little precious adorable footsteps in order to take her down and stab her in the face. It makes you a monster, this boss. Dark Sun Gwendolyn. Oh, actually, hang on a minute. I changed my number 1 waifu to this guy because, whew, look at that creamy skin. Daddy like. All joking aside, though, it is lovely to see where Final Fantasy 15 drew their Chapter 13 inspiration from, because Jesus Christ, this is a never-ending corridor. If I'm honest, actually, I really don't like this boss battle. I mean, he just stands there firing projectiles. Yay. Demon Fire Sage. Woohoo! Hot stuff coming through, am I right, guys? No, seriously, by the time that you fought this palette swap boss, this is the third time that you've encountered him, so I'm definitely cooling on the idea of the Fire Sage. Although it is quite nice to see a visual representation of what somebody's arsehole would look like after eating Domino's pizza the night before. 4 kings. FromSoft, mate, can you count? You can have up to 6 kings in this boss battle. I know that my eyesight has gone completely squiffy from the fact that you've not got any level detail, so my depth perception is completely gone, but still, I can count to 6. Gaping Dragon. Oh, who's a cute little fella? Come here, come here. Oh my good God, what the hell is that? That looks like what I imagined the CEO of EA does each time that anyone mentions microtransactions. It's a shame actually that this boss's visuals are the only really interesting thing about it, because I mean, my God, the slow wind-up attacks that it has. I could probably load a level of Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex before this thing could even strike me once. Real OG fans know what I'm talking about. Great Grey Wolf Sith. No, I'm still not ready to talk about it. Best Woofu, am I right, my fellow weebs? Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. Hey, bud. Heard you like being parried. How does it feel to be absolutely mugged off by 90% of the people who walk through that fog gate? In all fairness, though, if you haven't learned parrying, this boss is really quite challenging. But if you have, oh my God, it's embarrassing. Iron Golem. I always just let Tarkus do the battling for me, so I don't actually know what it's like to fight this guy. Although, if I'm to judge him by the fact that he's fallen off the stage the last 3 times that I fought him, maybe not that great. Plus, you're just ripping your design off from Final Fantasy. Naughty boy. Moonlight Butterfly. If you have died to this boss, maybe this franchise is not for you. I say that with love in my heart. I'm not trying to personally attack you, but if you have died to this little porcelain-winged spooter, you should never let anyone know that. It even comes down to have a little nibble of some little wall ivory, and just lets you wail on it. It makes me feel bad for killing this thing. Nito. Say hello to the big bad bone death daddy. Nito, from a design perspective, is, as his name suggests, pretty neat. Oh, bro. And you know what? His lore is actually fascinating, being the first lord to get his hands on a lord's soul. Now, battle-wise, he's alright. I mean, in fact, his worst move is the fact that he can put Toxic on you. However, what makes this fight truly special is when he gets these little calcium chump mates to come and get you, and then whomps them into the ground like they're tent pegs. That will never not be funny. Ornstein and Smo. Now, I know that we can't put this on for copyright reasons, but right now I'd have that song, You're the Best Around, Nobody's ever gonna take you down. I'd have that. In fact, use my audio clip of that with footage to just show how grandiose and spectacular this pair are. You're the best around, nobody's ever gonna take you down. Honestly, this deadly duo are rightly regarded as some of the best bosses in the vanilla experience, and you can see why. They're tough, they've got the stuff, and they do not take no guff. Plus, it's absolutely hilarious watching the other absorb the energy of their fallen friend in order to power up. Especially when it's Smo Nuts who's about to go nuts because he smashes Ornstein into the ground into a fine paste. It's just like, cheers, respect for the dead. Pinwheel. Are you kidding? Seath the Scaleless. Ooh, I hate this boss. Not only for the fact that he's the one boss in this game where you have to die to in order to then battle him again, but also because of those abysmal area of attack spells that he has. Get him out my mouth. Now, in the lore, Seath is meant to be this incredibly shrewd dragon selling insider secrets of his own kind in order to gain power and influence. However, in the battle, he ain't that smart because he's got his invincibility crystal right at the back of the arena that you can smash. Just put it on a top shelf next time and I wouldn't have been able to reach it and this would have been a cakewalk. Idiot. Stray Demon. Boo. Echo Fighters. Boo. Taurus Demon. If you hadn't learned how to properly plunge attack with the Asylum Demon, well, here's the refresher course. In fact, bless him, the Taurus Demon can be cheesed in so many ways that he's basically a walking fondue pot. You can either bait his attack and let him walk off the side of the bridge. You can then go back up to the top of the second arena and do the plunging attack on him, or you can do the tried and tested method of climb the ladder, wait for him to jump up, attack a few times, jump off, let him jump off, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Bless him, at least he's trying, but honey, no. The Bed of Chaos. Worst boss in the entire game, if not the entire franchise. And do not at me on this, because Miyazaki himself stated in a Giant Bomb interview that he regrets the design choice of this, that it was broken but he didn't have time to fix it. I do not like any boss that just boils down to RNG. You're just like, oh, I don't know the layout of this room. Oh, I've fallen through the floor. Sick. Brilliant. Nice little slog to get back to you again, is it? Wicked. And his one move is just basically, lol, I'm gonna sweep you. What are you, a brush? And now we move on to the DLC bosses, starting with the Sanctuary Guardian. So the Sanctuary Guardian is basically Sif's edgelord younger brother. If Sif is the whiny emo, oh, I've lost my friend, actually that's making me quite sad thinking about it, then the Sanctuary Guardian is a scene kid. He's got horns, he's got spiky belt buckles and a little spiky tail. It's just kind of like, doesn't make you any harder to beat, especially when you have a huge wheeze after you do your one big sort of wing attack. Let me catch my breath. Pathetic piece of piss. Knight Artorias. So what I'd want for this one here is basically the Citizen Kane slow clapping scene, just like, because this is a boss battle that is done right. I mean, just in terms of the atmosphere of the fight, the agony that Artorias is in after battling the Abyss for so long, but not having lost himself fully just yet, seeing you, knowing that what has happened with Sif as well, and then having the broken arm, meaning that you are fighting a weaker version of the legendary knight. It all just creates this boss battle that just drips with atmosphere, tension, emotion. I love this so much. Manus, Father of the Abyss. Oh, Jesus, mate, I know that you've been on your own for a bit, but all of that has basically made your arm go a bit funny. Although maybe I shouldn't be laughing, because 9 times out of 10, Manus will absolutely slap you to Kingdom Come. Black Dragon Calamite. If you do not have Hawkeye helping you in this boss battle, then it is easily the hardest boss in the entire series. Even if you do, it is still one of the hardest bosses in the entire series, because the bugger doesn't stay still. He's always just raising the ground with his fire attacks or just whipping you around. It's just kind of like, chill out. Although, for how difficult it is, you have to admit it's one of From Software's best designed bosses ever, because this is a dragon boss that actually feels epic. It feels grandiose. It feels like a true Dark Souls experience. It is epically designed and insanely hard. Thumbs up. And there we go, my friends. That was what every Dark Souls player thinks of every Dark Souls 1 boss. I hope that you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, as well as whether or not you'd like to see me take on Dark Souls 2 and 3, the rest of the franchise, the entire Blood Souls Sekiro series. If you'd like that, let me know down in the comment section below. But if you also want to chat to me further, you can do so over on Twitter at RetroJ0. I hope that you have a fantastic day, whatever you are getting up to. I hope that you treat yourself fairly, because at the end of the day, we spoke about bosses, but you are the boss of your own life, and you are a big bloody ledge, my friend. Go out there and absolutely smash it. But until then, I've been Jules, you've been awesome, never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.